Another Valentine's Day has come and gone, and so has another Valentine's Day event. It is I, Hellgear, doing a recap of the 2019 Valentine's Day event. So, as always, if you agree with or disagree with anything that I may have to say about this event recap, please do so in the comment section below, along with sharing your experiences of this event in the comment section below. Now then, let me tell you a little bit about this event and why it's so special, right after I hit this water sip real quick. In February 2018, we were coming up on 7 months into the life of Merge Dragons. And it is in this event last year that they introduced this Passion Dragon to all of us. And it happened during Valentine's Day. While this event was exclusive to this particular dragon, since then, its nest can be bought as an in-app purchase. I believe it's a $10 purchase. But what they did with this event last year was they introduced a new mechanic, a mechanic that hasn't been done with the previous event dragons, but would be later included in many event dragons afterward. And that is the tertiary dragon. Now, the dragon on the right is the Passion Dragon, and I believe this is the level 3 Passion Dragon. The egg is in the middle left. Now, what they did was this. As you're going through your island, grinding as hard as you can, getting your charms up to collect the tiers, the third place prize was an entwining heart tree. And when this heart tree entered your camp, it literally gave you a teddy bear. And that teddy bear, when you tapped on it, spawned eggs of a different dragon. The dragon's egg, which is in the middle right, looks really cool. That blue one with the pink heart spots. And merging it begets to players the King of Hearts dragon, which is what you see as level 3 on the left side of the screen. Yes, it was last year on Valentine's Day where Merge Dragons introduced a secondary event dragon, one that you could only get by completing third place and getting the item that spawns its eggs, which I consider the tertiary dragon. It's not a main event dragon because you don't really grind an island out to get its eggs, with the exception of the New Year's event where we actually got some of these dragons' eggs, but it's still tertiary because there's no real main event where we grind for this dragon's egg specifically, or its nest specifically. Ever since then, select dragon events have had the third place item give us eggs of a tertiary event dragon. That is why I pronounce it as a tertiary dragon. It is not the main dragon per se, the Passion Dragon on the right is, but it is the co-main event. This year's Valentine's Day event not only is the anniversary of the Passion Dragon, it is also the anniversary of the very first tertiary dragon, and tertiary dragons being added to the game in general. The Passion Dragons were also used for another special event that happened last year, the Royal Wedding, where the Merge Dragons development team had the Passion Dragon and King of Hearts Dragon together in one of their social media posts. This time around, Island Grind was a bit different. In fact, for the first day that I literally missed, and a good half of day 2 was down for technical issues, which I contacted customer support with, and man, were they on it this time. Later on that night, the event was back up and playing again, and I made sure to give them a proper thank you in a reply email. I managed to do something that I hadn't done in a very long time. I healed almost half of the area for the event. And usually when I play these events, I don't really heal a lot of the main event island. In fact, I haven't healed a lot of an island since the very first Moon Dragon event. And had I been able to play all 3 days, I probably would have made it to that heart-shaped island, which has all the bigger event love plants that you can harvest for tiers. I ended up, in light of life and technical issues, taking 3rd place. So I got another tree and I got another set of King of Hearts dragons. So 3rd place isn't bad, especially after missing out on literally half the event. And while the Key Island Fog was an interesting play, because yes, there was Key Fog, but around the map there were these little islands that worked with the Key Island Fog. And you had to go through a good number of hoops to get all of these. And I managed to clear all of the islands except for one. And that's the one where you needed the star. But again, you need 50,000 heal just to get that star. So, as you already know, not worth the effort. The sad thing about this event is I didn't get enough time to play it, which, contrary to last week where we had the impromptu New Year's Dragon event, I got lucky on that one. But having the little time that you are given just doesn't work for many players. You know, I know a few players who didn't get to experience the Passion Dragon event this year, and this year was their very first Passion Dragon event. So I hope that those players did well. A lot of people, when I talk to them and ask, okay, when it comes to the event dragons, what are your top 3? And the Passion Dragon is in the top 3 of many players. Not exactly first for everyone. Some people have it at number 2. Only like 5 or 6 people that I asked about this had the Passion Dragon as their number 1 event dragon. But mostly it was the number 2. And players were looking forward to this event. Many of them were mixed bag. They were somewhat happy with how this event went, and then somewhat disappointed. Mainly because they didn't get the right number of trees to harvest the charms. And I'm in that boat. What I like to have when I grind out charms is 2 level 3 plants. However, the setup for this event was that I had 1 level 2 plant and 1 level 3 plant, which I don't like that sort of thing. That really disrupts your ability to grind out and farm for charms to get those high level tiers. Mainly because the speed it takes for your dragons to harvest them is very, very long at level 2, but at level 3 it's not so bad. The island itself, nicely designed, and I'll just be honest with you, I didn't expect to heal as much as this island of this map as I did. The funny thing was how the 50 and actually how the 500 heal was, because it was in a diagonal line in the area, which I found odd, how the line for the 50 heal is at a diagonal line. I would have liked to get some more of the spawning plants though, because you didn't really, again, this was something I was searching for, and there wasn't really enough to give you 2 level 3 plants. You got 1 level 3 plant and then a level 2 plant, which again, I would have liked to have the 2 level 3 plants. All in all, this was perhaps the most progress I've made healing an entire island. And I don't ever finish fully healing the entire islands on these events, ever since the very first Moon Dragon event. Never been able to fully heal the entire island, but to get roughly halfway of healing everything, that was nice. Again, the very first Moon Dragon event, I healed a good number of that island. So it was nice to get a lot of the island healed in a good amount of the time, but I would have loved to have more time for this. And this is something that I get a lot of agreements on when it comes to these events, is gotta have more time. It's just not enough, you know. And let's get back to the Life Orb of the Heavens deal. Can all the players who don't want to waste all of the time, like, again, I mentioned this last event, players take half of the time of the event just to get 1 Life Orb of the Heavens. Well, yeah, it's like half of it. Well, it's too long. You know, it's 13 hours or something like that. And I personally don't have the patience to do that. And I'm not the only one. So, to all the other players out there who do merge dragons, do me a couple of favors. First and foremost, let the Merge Dragons development team know that 3 days is not enough time. I know I'm only one guy, and I'm obviously one guy that's constantly ignored by this, because I do post as a response to the Merge Dragons development team on their Facebook page my recaps. Not sure if they listen to them or not, but do me a favor. If you as a player know that 3 days isn't enough time, please tell the Merge Dragons development team that you would love to have more than 3 days to do these events. You know, I've asked many times on the social media pages, can the events be 5 days long? You know, some of the events from the first year originally were 5 days long, and that was a lot of time. I mean, a good number of time to get the event dragon is 5 days. I mean, if you can't get it in 5 days, then that's on you. Also, let them know that, and this is something that many players go through this, is there are not enough dragon gems for rewards. And in the early events, we got a couple of magnificent dragon stars, which gave us gems. So if you guys would like more gems, let the development team and the social media people tell them to make reward tiers as dragon stars instead of trees. You know, I would rather have the dragon stars for trees over, well, yeah, have the dragon stars over the trees, especially since players would rather do hacks to get infinite numbers of gems. And for many players who don't want to make the in-app purchases, getting the magnificent dragon stars as rewards during events was their way of getting dragon gem increases. Mainly because it's the most precious commodity, and getting more dragon gems is a very hard thing to do. Also, there are players who just do not want to have to spend $10 just to get the boost to help finish this event in one day. And I've talked to many players who are like, well, the only way you're really going to get through this is if you buy the in-app purchase to get the thousands of charms. That's how many players that I know get through these events in one day. But that's all I'm going to say on this event recap. Again, share your experiences of the event, your agreements and disagreements with my recapping of this event in the comment section below. But for now, I take my dragons to camp because I'm done. And hopefully, we'll get a good break, because the back-to-back event thing, as nice as that was, kind of threw a lot of players off guard. So, not sure what's coming up next as far as event dragons go. Easter is in April this year, so we probably won't get the bunny for at least one more month. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.